First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
Lightning strikes a prison yard, hitting at least 16 inmates. Thanks for joining us. First at 4, I'm Brian Duffy.
And I'm Nicole Versansky. It happened at Grafton Correctional Facility last night. Keith Grant joining us there live now with the latest on those who are still hospitalized.
Brian and Nikki, 7 of those inmates, 16 of them still in the hospital, one of them in serious condition. That's according to the last update from the prison here in Grafton. But a family member says her nephew was hit in the lightning last night, but she's worried for his health because he was never sent to the hospital. Lightning ripped through Grafton Correctional Facility Tuesday night while inmates were walking back from dinner. One family member says her nephew was hit by lightning. Did he describe what happened?
He said that they were walking and they went outside. Everything went black. And then when he came to, he said it looked like a video game, like there was a lot of bodies lying down.
16 inmates were rushed to the hospital after the strike. Wednesday morning, the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction said 7 remain hospitalized, 1 in serious condition, 6 stable, and 9 have returned to Grafton. But Jamina Hawley says her nephew was never sent to the hospital. He was treated at the prison. And when he called her Tuesday night, she noticed something was wrong.
I immediately recognized that he was like stuttering, and he said that he had like numbness and tingling in his legs.
We asked prison staff repeatedly whether every inmate struck by lightning was sent to the hospital. They refused to answer. They only confirmed 16 were sent to the outside hospitals. The National Weather Service did not issue a severe storm warning for the Grafton area last night. The Correctional Department has not said what steps it takes to protect inmates during storms.
We've had a very restless night.
Holly hasn't heard from her nephew on Wednesday to know his current condition. Her nephew told her on Tuesday that staff were checking on him every 2 hours. All right, prison staff here also reporting that there have been no deaths from last night's lightning strike and no staff were injured either. We're still waiting for an update from the state here, the Department of Rehabilitation and Corrections, on the status of those 7 remaining inmates in the hospital. We were told that would be this afternoon sometime. Live in Grafton, Keith Grant, 19 News.
And we continue to follow breaking news as divers are searching for a missing boater near Conneaut. The Coast Guard says it is a 73-year-old man who is missing. A distress call for an overturned boat came in this morning. The boat was 9 miles offshore. 3 people were on that boat, but only 2 were wearing life vests. Turns out a Good Samaritan helped rescue the 2 people with the life jackets, and emergency crews brought them safely to shore. They're expected to be okay. Divers are now searching for that 3rd victim.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
So some dangerous weather across the state. That lightning in Grafton, boy, it's nasty. Nothing to mess around with at all.
Absolutely not. 19 First Alert meteorologist Erica Page joins us as things are a little bit calmer now, but we saw it's still raining out there in Grafton where Keith is.
Yeah, there is still going to be some rain on First Alert Doppler radar. So keep that in mind, especially as you go through the rest of this evening. You're maybe not necessarily dealing with completely dry conditions, but I do think this is likely going to be our main show as we go through the next few hours. Right now, the biggest kind of thunderstorm activity that we're seeing is actually just south of Westlake, and you can see how many lightning strikes they're starting to be picked up on our Doppler radar. So that's a good indication to you that this storm is not necessarily weakening. It's not severe, but it also is trying to stay at least a bit more organized as it slowly crosses into the western part there of Cuyahoga County. Elyria seeing some rain up towards the lakeshore there, Avon Lake, Sheffield Lake, and then down towards LaGrange. We've got a couple more of these lightning strikes as well. So folks that are basically traveling 90 westward, getting on the Turnpike, State Route 2 west, you're going to be running into some of those heavier downpours. This scattered activity does extend a little farther to the south, so you look down towards Ashland County, you can certainly see where we have a few more of those lightning strikes noted. So if you're headed 71 south, keep that in mind as well. You may run into some slowdowns as a result of some of this rain. It's moving off towards the east at about 30 miles per hour or so. So if this cluster of storms holds together, and even if it fills in, especially just a little bit here between this northern cluster and the southern one. Puts it in Medina here at about 420 or so, and then out towards Euclid just ahead of 440. I'll walk you through your latest timing coming up here in just a little bit.
Breaking news first at 4 and streaming on 19 News Plus. These are live pictures here from the Canton Fire Department, honoring the heroes who pulled a driver from Nimishillen Creek. They are being honored today. This is a recognition ceremony. Earlier this month, a pickup truck left I-77. You see the video here, landed upside down into the creek. You see it veer off the road there, flips upside down into that creek. It trapped a 28-year-old driver underwater. Witnesses flagged down help. Canton firefighter Kyle Gallagher and Bolivar firefighters Sarah Valentine and Ashley Kurtner. They climbed over a fence, waded into the water, wrenched open the truck door, and got that driver out. The victim was unconscious, wasn't breathing, but today the department is saying thank you for their teamwork and their life-saving efforts. That driver survived.
That's good news, certainly. Well, how about this? Deadly storms are leaving a trail of destruction across the Midwest and the Ohio Valley. Hundreds of thousands were still without power at last check. Michael Yoshida reports on the flooding, the damage, and recovery efforts now underway.
Dangerous flooding leading to evacuations.
The current that's ripping through there right now, these boats are having troubles going straight.
Tuesday, rescuers and rafts and small boats battled powerful currents after parts of Ohio saw a month's worth of rain in just 3 hours. Drone video showing vehicles and buildings surrounded by high water.
We have a very serious situation. Flash flooding is occurring.
And it wasn't just flooding. Wind gusts topping 90 miles per hour left damage across wide swaths of the Midwest. In Indiana, the storm turned deadly after a tree crashed into a home, killing a 4-year-old boy.
First responders arrived on scene within minutes, located a tree that fell on a back bedroom of the residence.
In Portage, Indiana, another person was killed in an apparent explosion and house fire. Police say their investigation continues, but they believe trees knocked down by the storm may have damaged natural gas lines.
This afternoon, the city of Portage experienced probably the most severe weather event that any of us here can remember. Certainly in my time working for the city, we have not had a disaster of this size before.
At their peak, the storms knocked out power to more than 1 million homes and businesses from the Midwest to the East Coast. Wednesday, cleanup crews were hard at work, from Chicago to Maryland and even a zoo in Massachusetts. Now, many of those same communities are preparing for another round of heavy rain and severe weather for the next 2 days. I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
The Browns taking on the Chicago Bears this Saturday in their first preseason game.
Football, right? Football's back. But the number one question is, who will start at quarterback? Ashley Holder is in Berea, has the latest on the quarterback battle that's been ongoing since 1952 through 13 days of training camp.
Todd Monken isn't letting anything out when it comes to who will start at quarterback this weekend against the Chicago Bears. He told the media before practice that he will inform Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders after practice on who will be the starter this Saturday. What we do know is whoever doesn't start Saturday will play the third quarter and will most likely start against the Buffalo Bills in the second preseason game. If it is Deshaun Watson, it will be the first time he's seeing live action in nearly 2 years. Out of 68 regular season games, Watson has played in just 28% of them since joining Cleveland. Now that he's healthy and the off-the-field issues are behind him, Watson said he feels like he's playing his best football since becoming a Cleveland Brown.
You know, I have a clear vision, I have a clear mind. So, I mean, I think the world know what I went through. It's no secret, you know, off the field and then on the field also with injuries. So, I think for anybody that had, you know, what I went through, I think, you know, would be in a different spot maybe, you know. So, I think I'm mentally tough and, you know, dealt with it as best as I possibly could to be able to be standing here talking with you guys, you know. So, I think if I would have handled it differently, I definitely wouldn't be, you know, sitting right here, you know, in front of you guys on my 5th year.
Deshaun Watson also said it's time for people to stop comparing him to his Houston Texans playing days. He says he's 30 years old now and a completely different man. He said even though he's dealt with some injuries, his mentality and the way he plays and the way that he approaches the game has not changed. For now in Berea, Ashley Holder, 19 News.
Breaking news, Governor Mike DeWine giving an update on the rescue and cleanup efforts after the severe weather, deadly weather in southern Ohio.
Hardest hit counties Muskingum and Perry. Let's listen in.
Well, good afternoon. I wanted to have the chance to meet with local officials, meet with the chief, and really bring some of our team here today to assess the situation and plan for the future, what assistance we can be. But I first want to start by congratulating the chief, Chief Newland, his men and women, and thank all the departments that came in. They had departments come in from West Virginia. They think they have over 40 different departments that have come in to be of assistance. The fact that, well, let me back up a moment. There were numerous rescues, numerous boat rescues. That is always a dangerous proposition. And it takes people who are very courageous to deal with water, and you never know what is going to happen. And I don't know if the chief wants to get into it, but they had a couple situations that were very problematic. So they were saving people's lives, but it's also risky for the rescuers. And I just want to thank them. I want to congratulate them. These communities have been hit exceedingly hard in a historic way. They've been hit before with water challenges, but this certainly is the worst. And the community has rallied, and the rescuers have rallied. And so all the police departments, the fire departments, but everyone did an absolutely phenomenal job. And I think that, that story may never totally be told of the circumstances and what happened as this unfolded. The people who have described it to me described it as water coming very quickly, and that's the type of situation that we always worry most about. So this is a resilient community. These are resilient communities. These are resilient counties, and they will come back as they always have come back. Our job is to try to help them figure out how to do that and to provide the assistance that we can. The immediate assistance is being provided to people in the shelter, but the next step for the people in the shelter, of course, is they've lost their home. Some have lost absolutely everything. So we have people who have lost everything they have, absolutely everything. A horrible tragedy. Red Cross is there now. The Red Cross is in the process of working with the individual families. The temporary housing obviously will have to be obtained very quickly, and the Red Cross is very good at working that out and providing assistance. The long-term help is going to come from the governor's office and come from the legislators who you will hear from in just a moment. But I want to ask Sim Merrick, who heads up our emergency management operation, to outline for you briefly kind of the next steps, because the first step is we have to have an assessment. We rely on the counties to do that. We have emphasized in the meeting we just had it's important when that assessment is done not to miss anything. Because our ability to qualify for federal help, frankly, depends on the gravity and the amount of the loss. And so we want to count everybody. We want to count everybody's house in all the counties that are involved. Sima, you want to run through very quickly kind of that process?
Thank you, Governor. I'm Sima Merrick. I'm the Director of Emergency Management. One of the things the Governor would like us to outline for you.
And unfortunately, as we wrap up this coverage with the Governor, we know that at least one person in the state of Ohio was killed during these storms.
Yeah, and as you're talking and you're listening to these search and rescue efforts that are still ongoing, we know there are Army National Guard members from North Canton who have been called down there near Crooksville, Ohio, in that general area to be able to help with some of those rescue efforts.
All right, caught on camera, an absolutely terrifying moment for some parents. A 3-year-old starts choking in the back seat and then stops breathing. One California officer tried back blows, then rushed to his patrol car and grabbed an anti-choking LifeVac device. After a few tries, another officer steps in and delivers some more back blows. And then the moment everyone was waiting for, little Matthias, after all of this, he actually began to breathe.
Turned him around, he took a deep breath, and it was a relief, honestly.
I definitely got home, hugged my loved one, which would have been my wife, Arlene, a little tighter.
Matthias, who is autistic and nonverbal, was taken to the hospital where he was evaluated and is now doing fine.
Take a look at this. It's Mount Etna erupting. Flights were canceled in Sicily because of the volcano. The airport is going to stay closed until at least tomorrow. Hundreds of passengers remain stranded on the island. However, the fountains of flames and rivers of lava offered visitors a pretty spectacular view. Mount Etna is Europe's most active volcano.
Now your top 4 at 4, including our breaking news, as divers are searching for a missing boater. A distress call for an overturned boat came in 9 miles offshore near Conneaut. 2 of the 3 people on board were wearing life vests. A Good Samaritan helped rescue the 2 people with those life jackets. An emergency crews brought them safely to shore. They're expected to be okay. Divers are now searching for that 3rd victim.
7 of 16 inmates remain hospitalized after being struck by lightning at the Grafton Correctional Facility. 1 we know is in serious condition. 6 are stable and are expected to survive. 9 of the inmates who were shocked have been returned to the facility.
Judge ordered a competency hearing for the woman accused of killing her 2 young daughters and burying them in suitcases. He wants the suspect to undergo a 20-day evaluation at North Coast Behavioral Health Care as soon as a bed becomes available. She pleaded not guilty to murder and other charges in the deaths of her 10-year-old Amor Wilson and 8-year-old Mila Chapman. Their bodies were found back in March.
New details now on the bomb scare at the Harpersfield McDonald's yesterday near the Patriot Games. So a deputy spotted a suspicious van near Spire Academy where President Trump was scheduled to visit. A bomb-sniffing canine alerted police to something in the vehicle, prompting road closures, evacuations. Deputies determined there was no threat. The driver actually had been delivering confetti cannons to the Patriot Games event at Spire Academy.
All right, so here you go. An update on that rare sea turtle who washed up in poor health on a beach in the UK.
Now, this is Rossi. Okay. Remember, Rossi has now made that 5,000-mile transatlantic trip back to Texas. Vets at the Houston Zoo examined him from head to shell. They drew blood, took x-rays, and even put him through a CT scan.
He's very strong, he's very well fed, and there's no signs of external disease or trauma. He swims normally, he dives, he surfaces, he breathes fine.
Good for Rossi. Caregivers say Rossi has grown fast in rehab on a robust diet of live crabs. He's going to be released back to the Gulf of Mexico next week. Breaking at this hour, people in Colombia are in a desperate race against time after the powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit Monday, killing nearly 250 people. In the city of Cali, rescue crews and volunteers are digging through collapsed buildings, passing buckets of rubble by hand, as you see here, hoping to find survivors before this critical 72-hour window closes. Rescue teams from all around the world have joined in that search.
Also breaking, police in Hopkins, Minnesota found 3 people dead, including a child inside a daycare. This daycare was inside a home. Officers believe a man took his own life after killing a woman and their child. Police say there were 7 kids at that daycare at the time. All of the survivors have been returned to their parents. Police say this is a domestic-related homicide. Shooting at the Cuyahoga County Fair last year has led to some big-time changes this year. So for the first time, the county sheriff's department is leading the security there.
And now anyone under the age of 18 has to be with an adult after 6 p.m. First at 4, Brittany Weir is at the fairgrounds with what we need to know.
Yes, those sheriff cruisers here behind me, they are hard to miss, but that is exactly the point. The Cuyahoga County Fair is back, but so is the memory of what happened here last summer when a teenager was shot during a fight on these exact fairgrounds. Now, Cuyahoga County Sheriff Harold Patel says this year his department plans to keep your family safe. Funnel cakes, carnival rides, farm animals, the Cuyahoga County Fair has something for everyone. But last August, a night of fun turned frightening. A group of about 10 young adults got into a fight inside the fairgrounds. An 18-year-old was shot in the abdomen. 2 suspects ran to the parking lot. Middleburg Heights police stopped the car and arrested a man with a gun.
We're very proud that this is the first year that the Sheriff's Department has partnered with the Fair Board in providing security exclusively for the fair.
In years past, a rotating group of local police departments shared security duties with the Fair Board. This year, Sheriff Patel says the county fair deserves a county-led solution with a layered security plan, improved communication, and a visible presence from the parking lot to the midway.
We do know that having a strong security presence, some people may say, why do you need that? Well, we need it to ensure security, the sense of security, not just the sense, but actual security.
There's also a new rule posted at the fairgrounds. Anyone under 18 must be accompanied by a responsible adult after 6 p.m. Unaccompanied minors will be denied entry or asked to leave. Anyone, regardless of age, can be asked to show a valid government-issued ID.
Visibility is huge, and that's important. People should know that they're going to come here, it's going to be safe, whether it's in a parking lot, the streets leading up to it, or actually throughout the fair.
And the sheriff's message to all the families that are out here enjoying the fair is if you see something that doesn't look quite right, make sure you say something. Now, the fair does run until Sunday at 10 p.m. In Berea, Brittany Weir, 19 News.